They got to be real careful not to try to simplify everything, that we don't allow to appreciate what's really happening in the ring. And that's what happened in the Wilder fight. From everything I've heard, it's everybody just saying he hits hard. That's all he does. And it's not the case of what happened that night. And it's never really the case of what happens in the ring at an elite level. No one's winning at an elite level just because they hit hard, just because they have one skill. And then not even a skill, one ability to hit hard. A lot of people have hit hard. I don't think, maybe no one has ever hit hard as Deontay Wilder. That may be the case. But no matter what kind of power you have, it's not what's allowing him to place these punches. Was not was not putting him in place, the skill to put him in place to land these shots. It's just not happening. And against a guy like Ortiz, who is highly skilled, to me is a top 3 heavyweight right now in boxing. It takes ability and skill and discipline that Deontay Wilder shows every fight. And it's getting better as he goes along. And the fact that we try to put it in a box just because of his power, it doesn't make any sense to me. Ortiz was winning every round of that fight. There's no doubt he was winning every round. Was he schooling him? I wouldn't say schooling him. He was winning. His strategy was working, but I think Deontay doesn't give up. He doesn't care losing rounds. He doesn't care because he's just waiting for his opening to strike. He's so confident in his ability to land, and he's so confident when he lands that the fight is over, and it usually is. Only two fights it wasn't. But we had this thing where we put Deontay Wilder in a situation where it's just his power. Like, you just want to make it simple. Like, that's a problem we have, is we try to simplify everything. We try to make it simple so we can understand it, so people can understand it, so it's easy to explain, so we can put it in a box and we don't have to overthink it. But I'm here to overthink it, and I'm here to think about the things that he does that makes him great. The way he trains is not strategy based. He doesn't train per fighter based. Like, he's not training, I gotta do this for this guy. He's training he's constantly in a position to use his athleticism and his power and to always be able to strike offensively. That's why he doesn't, when Ortiz would move in, he wouldn't back up fully, because he never truly does fully back up, so that's why he gets hit. When Ortiz would do the double step in, so Ortiz had a beautiful strategy this time, which the first one he would take a step in and he would leave a wide enough gap to where Deontay could respond, right? But with this one, he did one step and then another step before he punched, to not allow Deontay to use his length and make it harder for him to respond in that situation. And when he did that, Deontay wouldn't fully back up. Now, some would say, oh, okay, move with him. Take one step and then take another step with him. Deontay Wilder wasn't doing that. He wasn't taking one step. He was taking the one step, still looking to respond, getting hit. But what Ortiz's strategy was to do the double step, and then he moved towards the power of his right hand, which a lot of people say don't do. But I thought it was pretty smart, because Deontay could be a little bit wide with his punches, so it makes it a little bit more predictable to see. So Ortiz moved towards power. I didn't think it was a bad strategy. I don't think that's what got him knocked out. I think what got him knocked out is when Deontay Wilder was starting to time his movement, and he turned him. And when he turned him, Ortiz got put in a place to where it allowed him to be still for a moment. And that's all Wilder needed, was that one moment. Because he's skilled, because he's talented, he's fast, athletic, he's long, he can hit you from far away. And when he got him in that one moment, it was lights out. We got to appreciate it as a whole, though. You can't just appreciate the power, which is fun and it's easy to appreciate. But there's the moment to set up that. And the moments that he put himself in positions to do that. And that's what he did, and it was beautiful. And I 100% appreciate it. 100%. And now he is king of the heavyweight division. And he's the name in the heavyweight division. Anthony Joshua, Ruiz is the biggest fight in the heavyweight division, but he's the man in the heavyweight division. He has all the power right now, money-wise, everything. If you're going to come to the table with Deontay Wilder right now, you're either getting 50-50 or you're getting less. Because he is the man bringing the attention from everywhere. Everyone knows him. Tyson Fury's number 2. Anthony Joshua's number 3. Now, some people disagree with me, because Anthony Joshua gets paid a lot more money than Wilder or Fury do to fight. But that's in England. Here and in England, they all know Wilder. Here and in England, they know Fury. Joshua's over there. He's a success over there. I don't know if he's a success here yet. In that fight, Now we have Fury. You have Fury Wilder. They're gonna go at it. That's the rematch. They already have signed if it's a competitive fight. They could go number 3. Joshua, if he wins Ruiz, he could be out of the loop for a little bit. He might have to take a fight with Dylan White. That's a tough fight too. If he wins this weekend coming up, which is not a sure thing. If he wins, it's interesting. The heavyweight division is probably the most interesting weight division right now in boxing. Every at the top 5 guys, every fight is like it's a toss up. Honestly, it's almost a toss up. Wilder Fury, that's going to be amazing, and it's I know Fury is to me the better fighter. To me, Fury is number 1 heavyweight division. Heavyweight weight division skill wise, he's number 1. I know he beat Wilder the first one, close fight, but he won. Nearly got knocked out, but he won. He got up. He won. Can't lose a fight just because he got dropped once. Can't lose a fight like that. But Wilder's getting better. And he's getting more confident. And he's so sure of himself. And he's more balanced than ever. That right hand was so straight. It wasn't... Wilder usually throws like looping shots. Like there's a little more loop to it. That was straight pinpoint down the middle. He's throwing those. I mean, that's problems for everyone. You're not going to avoid those all night if they're that pinpoint straight. And the way he hits you after he turned him, which was a really smart move. He turned him while Ortiz's back to the ropes. It was in a position to where I think Ortiz just for a second just paused, and that was it. It was over after that point. It's an interesting heavyweight division. It's really interesting right now, and we can't put Wilder in a box. He's not just power. He's not, and he would be problems for any heavyweight, any era. Don't just say he's not skilled. He just hits hard. He's not. He's a problem for anyone. He might be the hardest hitting heavyweight of all time, and he's getting better. If he knocks out Fury, I mean, then okay, he's got a fight with either Ruiz or Joshua. He knocks him out. He's reigning in this weight division for a long time after that. He's going to reign for a long time, and it's going to be dominant fashion. Knockout. Don't be surprised if Wilder ends up one of the greatest heavyweights of all time at the end of this. If he goes 50-0, 48 knockouts, 47 knockouts, somewhere like there, and he's just knocking out the top 5 guys, because he's not backing down from anyone. He fights everyone. He's not, there's never a situation where I feel like Wilder's running for anyone. He fights, he did not have to fight Ortiz. That Ortiz fight is a tough fight. Maybe people didn't recognize it, but was a tough fight. I kind of favored Ortiz in that fight going into it, because I just thought he was so successful, and if he would have avoided that one shot in the first one, he would have won. I thought he was heading toward a direction of winning, and this one was the same thing, but Wilder doesn't mind giving up rounds. And if you don't mind giving up rounds and you're so confident in what you do, and you put yourself in position to land that one shot, and when he lands it, it's over. You got Joshua Ruiz fighting this weekend, and people are pumped for this one. And it's a big fight, and it feels like a big fight. And that's the best thing about boxing, is when it tells a story. And this fight tells a story. I don't think great matchups necessarily equate to big fights. I think stories equate to big fights. I think that's why Conor, Floyd Mosley, like Floyd De La Hoya, maybe not the 2 best guys fighting at the time, but it was a story behind it. And when the story and a matchup meet up, that's when boxing is at its best, or MMA is at its best in that case. Like, Conor McGregor is a story no matter who he fights. He's a story. That's why that's usually the biggest fight in MMA that year if Conor McGregor fights. You got to get a story behind it for it to be. That's the promoters. I don't know. Sometimes I don't think they understand that you need the story behind it, and you got to strike while the iron's hot. Joshua Ruiz is a story that they created that no one really saw coming. It was an upset. Ruiz got the knockout that no one really saw coming. A guy that has a certain look to him, that looks a little bit out of shape, looks fat, looks pudgy. Mexican heavyweight. Things that you don't really see that's being successful in boxing. And he got a win. He knocked out Joshua, who looks like a gladiator, looks like a Greek god. And he put him to sleep. I don't know if he put him to sleep, but he stopped him. And now there's a story to it. And is Ruiz a one-hit wonder? Is he even able to do this again? Is he the real deal? And is Joshua done? Because Joshua gets knocked out again, then Joshua is most likely done. Joshua has made a lot of money in his career. He's not just becoming a star. He's been a star in England for a long time, making millions of dollars a fight. He's making $80 million on this fight. To me, if you ask me who wins the fight, I say Joshua. He's a better fighter. He's a more complete fighter. He knows how to fight at a distance. He was winning the first one when he gave up the space. Ruiz never earned that space. He never earned getting close to Joshua. Joshua gave it to him, and he suffered for it. And I'm not saying it was a fluke. It wasn't. Two men went in there. Ruiz had the ability, as if he gets close, I'm going to win this fight because I'm faster than him. And if I hit you, or I hit like a heavyweight, you're going to go down. Joshua has a questionable chin. He has questionable stamina. But I still can't get past that Joshua gave him the distance. And if he doesn't give him the distance, I don't see a way Ruiz, from the first fight, from the skill he had the first fight, to earn that distance. I don't think he has. And to tell me that after all this fame and all these new opportunities for him and all these new interviews and all these new things that he has, he went back in the gym and worked on earning that distance, I don't know. I have my doubts about it. And I think that Joshua was humiliated. First fight in America, Madison Square Garden, knocked out. Knocked out by Pudgy Guy. That's all everybody's talking about. I think he's going to be very disciplined in this fight. I think he's going to come in, fight one of the more disciplined fights he's ever fought in his career. And I think he's going to look dominant in it. But if he gets caught, and that doubt starts to seep in. Well, that's what we're gonna see. That's what we want to see. That's what you're kind of hoping that happens in a way. I think he's gonna fight from the outside. I think he's gonna jab. I think he's gonna pinpoint his shots, not a lot of combinations, just pinpoint his shots and maybe dominate for a few rounds, catch Ruiz late and stop him. That's the way I see it playing out. But maybe Ruiz does something that I don't expect and works his way on the inside, works his way under the punches and steps in and creates opportunity for himself. It's a fight, really. It's a fight of discipline and mental strength. And who had more mental strength going into the gym? Who was more disciplined? Who added more to their game? Who created more heart? Who has the more heart to continue in this fight? Keep finding discipline. So people think it's hard is getting hit and punching back. To me, hard is there's in the ring. There's multiple ways to show it, but it's staying true to your game, staying disciplined, not getting reckless, showing heart, showing courage, showing the endurance and the mental strength and mental stamina to stay in your game. And is Joshua going to show that? And is Ruiz going to apply pressure? It's going to break Joshua again. And is Joshua glass jaw? And does he have bad stamina that's not going to keep up with the elite? The other battle in this fight, not a lot of people are talking about, and not a lot of people are talking about in boxing right now, is the battle of promotions. PBC owns Ruiz. If Ruiz wins, he leaves. He goes to fight Wilder. He goes to fight all the heavyweights PBC has. Kaneki. Or maybe Luis Ortiz. Great fight. That's a good fight. He's not coming back to this. The Zone's going to lose the heavyweight title. And it's going to lose Joshua if he loses. They will not have a stake in it anymore if that happens. A lot's riding on this between the PBC and the Zone. This is the thing that I think needs to be marketed more. The fact that PBC took a shot. They had really nothing for Ruiz. They said, yeah, allow him to fight. He had nothing to lose on that. Allow him to fight Joshua, late replacement. He wins. PBC won a gamble where they 101 shot. They threw $1 and won $100. Now they have a name. Now they're gonna still make him money on this. He's still a name, even if he loses this fight. He goes back to PBC. He's still a name to fight. Not the elite, but he's still a name. If it's competitive fight and he loses, even better. You can do a third one, or you can go back and fight all the guys that PBC has. PBC has heavyweights. But if Joshua loses, that's a vicious blow to the Zone, who's having a hard time finding fights for Canelo. Who's having a hard time finding other stars. I mean, they're banking on Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia. banking on it. If Ruiz wins this fight, PBC has a stranglehold in the heavyweight division. Tyson Fury's top rank, but they don't have a lot of heavyweights either. DAZN needs this fight. It's massive for DAZN. And I think they're pretty open about it. But not really people are talking about it. This battle, we need a breakdown charts that's showing you PBC has them, DAZN has them, Top Rank has them, and they're willing to gamble these guys. Jose Ramirez, they gambled him. He went to DAZN, and he knocked out Hooker. Now he's back. It's a star. They took that chance. Top Rank took that chance. Now UFC's going to enter it. Zuffa Boxing's coming. Who are they going to get? The battle of promotions is beginning. And this is way more intense and more risky than the Showtime and HBO battle. Because these guys, if like Charlo doesn't really have no one to fight, they're going to have to take a chance to let him go to DAZN. They're going to take a chance to let him go to ESPN and fight the top ranked guys. Who's willing to bet their guys? And that's what it is. And it's suffering boxing a little bit because we're not getting the matchups we want, but it's also pretty damn interesting if someone knew how to market it. If they knew how to put cards and said, like, DAZN is putting their fighter in, just call it out. Where's DAZN? Hey, where's DAZN stuff? And PBC's putting their fighter in, and it's like the battle of promotions. That's pretty interesting. That's what's happening this Saturday. People need to talk about it more. I don't think maybe because it's on DAZN, no one wants to talk about it, but it's happening. And if Joshua loses, Eddie Hearn, that's a vicious blow to their promotion. Another major news on the MMA side, Conor McGregor's back. I didn't think he'd come back, honestly. I did not think that was going to happen. I thought he made too much money, and I thought he really didn't want to fight, and he had all the things going on the outside. I just didn't think it was happening. But I think all the distraction on the outside made him want to come back. And he's getting down on Cerrone. And I don't think people will understand that matchup, but I get it. It's a tuna fight. It's a tuna fight. And it's at 170, which is interesting. So which tells me that he's going for Masvidal. So what he said before, he was being honest. He wants tuna fight. He wants Masvidal, and then he wants Khabib at 155 or maybe at 170. I think he beats Cerrone, but I don't think it's what everybody's saying today. It's for sure deal. It's for sure. I don't think that because it's at 170. Cerrone carries 170 better than Conor does. From past experiences, he does. He's been at that weight comfortably before. He's won fights at that weight before. He's knocked out guys at that weight before. Conor hasn't. The only fight Conor has in that weight is a decision to Nate Diaz. Tough fight, debatable fight. I think he won, but the number 2 was debatable. And a knockout loss at that weight where he lost to Nate. Submission. But he got hurt with punches. And that's the whole reason to set up that submission. I have Conor winning. I have Conor winning by knockout. I'll say that. But let's say the power's not there. Just have 170. Maybe the power's not there. Maybe Cowboy carries the weight more. Better. Maybe the fight gets a little bit past the second round, third round. Conor starts feeling it's a 5-round fight. Cerrone starts putting it on. Cerrone gets a takedown. Cerrone's gonna have to mix it up. He's not gonna be able to just go hand to hand with Conor. He's gonna lose that fight. But Cerrone has a skill to mix it up though. He has a skill to go combinations to kicks to takedowns to submission game to pounding him out. He's gonna have to be that fighter. If he gets his pride get in, he just tries to stand with Conor. Conor's gonna piece him up. But say his power doesn't get there. His power's not there anymore. Conor's power's not there at 170. And the fight gets dragged on, and Cerrone drags his fight late. Well, then there's the advantage. There's the advantage is the key. There's opening. Cerrone's gonna have to survive a first round probably beating. He's gonna have to land. Conor's gonna land some shots on him. But if he survives that and then go into the second round, it's gonna get interesting. I think Conor's gonna come out, put a lot of pressure on him, look to go to the body, lefts to the head, working angles. Cerrone's really stiff. He's not good with movement. He's not good with angles. If someone gives him angles, he's gonna get problems. But he will throw combinations in between your punches. And if sometimes Conor gets lazy and pulls back, Cerrone knows how to mix punches and kicks very well, and knows how to change the distance from where he's punching you. You step back, and he's gonna respond with a high head kick. Then can Cerrone work a takedown? Can he tire out Conor and get a takedown? Because if he does, that might be game over. That's an interesting fight. I think Conor wins, but I think it's an interesting fight. I think it's a fight I want to see. For a first fight at 170, the 170 thing changes at all. If it's at 155, I think easy fight for Conor. Conor could be. If you want to see Conor could be rematch more than that fight, but that's a really good fight. I'm not complaining that we're having that fight. I think Tony gives Khabib a lot of problems because he's not afraid to get taken down. I think a lot of the guys fight Khabib and they go in there afraid to be taken down. And it takes away from their stand up. Dustin Poirier was wild in that fight because he was so afraid to get taken down that when he got exhausted, and then when he did have his opportunities, he was just his legs were already gone. His punches were wild. He was just afraid to get taken down. Tony's not going to be afraid to get taken down. Tony's a little bit chinny though, and Khabib will land standing up. His punches are wide, but he has some good timing, and he knows how to mix up his takedowns. He'll fake a takedown to a right hand, which he hit Conor with. I think Tony will win the stand up portion. I think Tony's going to jab him a lot of up and down. I think Khabib will land a takedown. He gets to land it early. I don't think he can get pieced up by Tony. Tony's not going to get tired. If he gets pieced up by Tony in the first and his takedown's less effective, because I've seen Khabib's takedowns get less effective as the fight goes on. He cannot have a round like what he had with Conor in the third. He can't have that round. Okay, he can't have the round because Conor was tired of that fight. I don't think Conor trained 100% correctly for that fight. I don't think Conor was in a mental state for that fight. But Tony will be. And I hope this fight happens. I hope they don't get hurt because I think Tony, my pick right now is Tony on that fight. Because I think he's not being afraid to be taken down is going to add a lot to his game. I don't think Khabib's really seemed to stand up besides the third round from Conor, and that he was having a lot of problems in that round. And I think the jab from Tony and his elbows and just working his way and not putting pressure on Khabib is going to be interesting. It's all going to, like every Khabib fight, all goes to how does the first takedown? What happens the first takedown? Does he take a beating down there? Or does he hand some damage out? And what kind of transitions are there going to be? I mean, I think Khabib has to go for a takedown in this fight. I think right away. I don't think he can play sometimes he plays the stand-up a little bit. I don't know if he's doing that just to punish a guy or he just can't get takedowns sometimes in rounds because the energy it takes to get it. But in this fight, I don't think he could play that. I think he has to every time Tony gets in, he has to look to get under a shot and get in on him. Take him down. Make him pay on the bottom. Watch the elbows from the bottom. He has to be really disciplined on his bottom game not to get cut. That's an interesting fight. Goodness, it's one of the ones you really don't know how it's going to play out. You just have like an idea of what's going to happen, but it could be completely different. It could be an all-out brawl standing up, where because Tony will give you chances even if you're a lesser striker than Tony, because Tony's a pretty damn good striker, but he allows guys lesser strikers to hit him because that's just his game. He sacrifices defense for offense, so there's a chance that him and Khabib are just swinging away, and Tony's getting the better of it, but he's still getting hit. And there's a chance that it's just Khabib puts him on his back, and they're just Tony looking for bottom elbows, trying to transition, and Khabib wins the decision, but it's entertaining. I can't see it not being entertaining. It's going to be entertaining, and I can't see it not going deep. I think this is a fight that goes deep in the round because Khabib takes a hell of a shot too. This is the fight. It's a very interesting fight. I think Masvidal is going to be watching that Conor fight, but I also think Masvidal should be watching that Khabib Tony fight because I think that Khabib is not long for 155. Not long at all for 155. I think Tony wins, he'll stay at 155, but I wouldn't be surprised if he wanted to fight Masvidal as well for the BMF belt. I think the BMF belt is more valuable than the welterweight belt right now. That's as strange as that to say. I think it is in the UFC. I think the BMF belt's way more valuable than any other UFC title right now besides the heavyweight belt in the lightweight belt. That BMF belt has some staying power if the UFC chooses to do that, which I think they should. I think that belt should honestly not have a weight limit. Like I think that belt should have catch weights. That belt should have catch weights to where a welterweight can fight middleweight. They meet in the middle. It could go up a weight class, go back down a weight class. I think that belt should not have a limit of what it could do. Not saying open weight fights, but I'm saying catch weight fights. If the guys can make it happen, let's make it happen. Let's make it happen for the belt. I think this is the nice little loophole for the UFC to have more weight divisions without making more weight divisions. That's it. We got the fight this weekend. I'll do another video before that, and I'm going to try to get these out more often. Thank you for listening. This has been The Weigh In.